Oh, yeah. Okay. So, okay, we will start the guest lecture. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and participants, a very good morning to all of you from Indonesia. The Honorable Prof. Diego Ravenda, Department of Management Control, Accounting and Auditing, TBS Business School, Spain, as the speaker of today's seminar. The Honorable Ms. Fitri Wahyuni, SAMSJ, the Director of International Program of Accounting, the Honorable Ms. Desi Susilawati, SAMSJ, as a Head of Diploma in Applied Accounting of Islamic Financial Institution, Universitas Muhammadiyah, Yogyakarta. And also the Honorable of Ms. Cesar Marga Putri, SAMSJ, as the moderator for today's seminar event. The Honorable Accounting Lecture, and our beloved participant. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to International Seminar Guest Lecture, Artificial Intelligence for Research. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, praise to the presence of God Almighty, who give His guidance and mercy to all of us so that we can attend this seminar in a good health. Blessings and greeting, let us all devote ourselves to our Lord, the Prophet Muhammad, who had brought us from time of Jahiliyah into the era that full of inayah. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Amelie Putri, as the Master of Ceremony. Here I would like to show you the agendas that we have arranged today. The first one is opening, and the second one is the next agenda. The second one is seminar and Q&A session. The last agenda is closing. The first agenda is opening. Let us open the seminar event this evening by reciting Basmalah together.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Next agenda is seminar session, which will be led by Ms. Cesar Marga Putri, SAMSJ, as the moderator. To Ms. Cesar, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Amelia, for the time. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to extend my warm welcome to my supervisor, Professor Diego Ravenda. I'm glad, Prof, finally you can join in our faculty, even in an online meeting, but maybe in the future you can visit our faculty in person. And I would like to welcome all of the audiences here, student, maybe lecturer, all other audience from outside our university. Thank you, and I wish you a good afternoon. And thank you for joining our session in the online meeting about the interesting topic today. And today maybe we have a very exceptional topic about artificial intelligence for research. And as we know that artificial intelligence has a huge impact in human life, especially maybe particularly for us as academia. And without any delay, I would like to introduce our distinguished speaker, Prof. Diego Ravenda. I will read his curriculum vitae here. Okay. Professor Diego Ravenda is a professor in Toulouse Business School or TBS Education, Barcelona campus. He also a visiting professor in Albert School of Business and Economics, Seattle University, USA. And in 2015, he also became adjunct professor in Autonomous University of Barcelona. His PhD degree earned from Universitas de Barcelona in 2014, and he also held several master degrees from several universities. In 2012, his master in business and finance research earned from Universitat de Barcelona, and in 2011, his master in accounting management and controlling from Universitat Camilo José Cela from Barcelona as well. And in 2009, in 2004, his master in accounting, management, and controlling from University Pompeu Fabra, Barcelona. In 2000, his master in business administration development from Cepega Business School, Bari, Italy. And in 1998, his master in degree in business economic from University of Bari, Italy. He also did Erasmus student in Staffordshire University, England. And maybe I can call him as a certified ChatGPT user because he earned many certification from many institutions, such as certification for using ChatGPT for dissertation, ChatGPT for academic publishing, ChatGPT for efficient statistical analysis, and ChatGPT for automatic literacy review. And he also expert in some software data, for example, in the, let me check, in the R, packaging, Stata, Python, LaTeX, SAP, and so on. He has actively published many academic paper in a lot of journal, around 43 paper already published. He also actively participate in the conference and seminar, and also he is can speak in many languages like Italian, Spanish, Catalan, English, French, and Germany. So today we are very blessed because we have a very distinguished speaker. So I think without any delay, I would like to let Professor Diego to deliver the topic because we have around 60 minutes, Prof, or 1 hour for you to deliver the topic. So I think you can start now. Time is yours and will be followed maybe with question and answer session around 20 minutes or 15 minutes. Time is your, Prof.
Thank you very much, first of all, for this invitation. I'm honored to be here, and to be in contact with you that are so far away. And for me, it's always a pleasure to have a chat with people with different culture and different views. So in this session, I will talk about. I will give a short presentation because it's just 1 hour about artificial intelligence for research. I'm gonna share now my screen with my presentation. I hope you can see. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Prof.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay. So, I mean, recently there's been a large debate about the impact of artificial intelligence. Someone say that we are living a revolution. And in this debate, there are we say two parts. On the one hand, there are people that are pessimistic about artificial intelligence. They say that artificial intelligence will destroy humanity and will have a negative impact. So they focus a lot on risks. And on the other hand, there are people that, I mean, like me, that they acknowledge that there are some risks, but also try to focus on the opportunities and on the benefit that AI can have on our life. In these slides, you can see that this optimistic view is represented by this picture that was actually generated using AI, where there is this happy interaction between, in this case, a researcher, a professor, and a robot. The title of the presentation actually is AI Revolution for a Better Future and Research. In this presentation, I will, I mean, there are some things that are just a personal view. So don't take this as a truth, a general truth, because again, everything can be discussed. But of course, I cannot avoid expressing my personal view on this aspect. Before starting, I would like to present this first slide that is a citation. Say, "AI revolution extends beyond practicalities beckoning us to reconsider the nature of human intellect, creativity, and the essence of scholarly inquiry itself. Before starting, I don't know if you know VooClap. I would like to do a poll. If you go to the page VooClap and enter the code, this code QFMFTU, if you can answer this question, that again is a poll. Yeah, there's not right answer. How would you define generative AI, and what distinguishes it in terms of capability and application research? There are four options. You can connect with your mobile or with your laptop, and let's see what you think about that. I'm gonna. So you have to go to booklab.com and try to enter the code QFMFDU. Let's see if it works. It should work.
You.
Hmm. Yeah, we are. I'm getting the first answers. I'm gonna wait 1 minute or two, 1 minute more. Let's see if we can get. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can keep on answering. In the meantime, I will start to comment on this. I can see here that the most answered question is AI system that combine pieces of existing data, like a mosaic, to generate something apparently new. Most of the people, 75%, and so this is going up now, 78%. And there are just 22% that say that an AI system can generate new data and insight based on existing pattern. Well, the first you can keep on answering. The first idea when ChatGPT was released in November 2022, and or perhaps a few months after, when most of the people became aware of this tool, the first impression, the first idea was the second one. So actually, I noticed that this is still here in this context the majority. So the AI system combines pieces of existing data, like a mosaic, to generate something apparently new. Unfortunately, if you open ChatGPT, let's imagine that you had the opportunity to open the algorithm ChatGPT, you will not find any text. Yeah, you will not find pieces of text that are combined together. The only thing that you will find is parameters, numbers, plenty of number, billions of parameters. So probably we can say that the second question is not exactly how these large language models work. Large language models, in reality, create patterns. Okay, they identify some patterns, and based on these patterns that are created based on a huge quantity of data, a huge quantity of information, basically all the information available on the internet, they generate some pattern, some model, and they tend to predict the best answer. Um, but this prediction, be careful, is a prediction that is based on the context. When you type a question on a prompt in ChatGPT or other large language models, Gemini or Claude and others, this algorithm they have the ability to understand the content, the connection between the words, and provide a plausible answer. So it's not reality a combination of pieces of data coming from internet. Okay, it is they actually generate something new based on data that are used to train the model. This is an important point. Uh, to continue with this, this I say that one of the most important moment in the development of this model was in 2017 when a famous paper was published called "Attention is All You Need." This paper, academic article, introduced an architecture called transformer. That is not the transformer that you may know in the movies. Is an architecture transformer that allows this algorithm to understand the context of the prompt or the question that we ask these models. Another point, another point of discussion is, do you think if okay now you can we can stop the survey for I'm gonna stop the survey for the first question. We see that most of the majority say that it's like a combination of pieces. Now I will start the second one. You can just go out and enter you can answer the question in the meantime. Say, do you think generative AI as reasoning can be considered as processing reasoning capability? So do you think that generative AI possesses reason capability? So this is another question. There are four options here. Someone may say here it's the answer is not so clear. So it's actually again this is a poll. This is a someone may say it has reasoning capability similar to humans. The second one they say mimics reasoning but does not truly understand. Generally, I cannot reason at all. I have no idea. Let's have a look if we get the first answer here. I'm happy that now we are quicker in your answering. Okay. Okay. Uh, the main okay. I think that in this question you can keep on answering. In this question, to answer this question, we have to think about basically in the output. I don't know if you have used any of this large language model. There are the free version of ChatGPT 3.5, for example. I don't know if in your country you can already access Gemini or Claude. There is a discussion. Let's say someone say, no, these tools, they do not have reasoning capability. Someone say, yeah, they have reasoning capability similar to human, and others say, no, they just mimic reasoning capability. I think that this discussion actually is not very useful, in my opinion. Because at the end we had to focus probably on the output, on the results. I had to be sincere. I'm a user of this language model, and I tested this model several times, and several times I was impressed with the quality of the answer. So, in my opinion, in my understanding, the quality, the answer of these large language models, they show some reasoning capability. So they are answers that show some reasoning, some logical, some rational behind. Now, this means that they reason in the same way as human? No, of course not. When you say, do they understand what they say? Probably not. But what do we mean by understanding? We can see, we can be almost sure that they are not self-aware. They do not have consciousness. But who cares about that? So, in my opinion, here is we have to consider the output and the result. And in my view, this result shows some reasoning. Now, the reasoning is the process behind it is different for human brain, but I think that we can say that the result show some reasoning. Okay. After I recommend that you also try and to see if you agree with me. Uh, and another point, interesting point is another point of discussion is creativity. Do you think that these tools? I will not ask you the question, but do they show creativity? To answer this question, I would like to show this picture of someone that you may know well, Albert Einstein, one of the greatest genius probably in the history of humanity. And Albert Einstein said, the secret of creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. What does it mean? That creativity doesn't come from nothing. Creativity comes from is a product of our brain, but comes from information, from knowledge, experiences, something that we experience, that we have learned. This information is processed by our brain, and sometimes we come up with something that is creative. Okay, so my question is, what don't you think that generative AI does something similar? Generative AI is trained with a lot of information. Generative AI process this information, and through a combination, an association, a process of this information, generate something that I think that can be novel and original in some sense. So again, I think that generative AI can also be creative. Um, there's a I don't know if you know Robert Sapolsky. There's a professor of neurological science at Stanford University. He wrote a book called Determine. He say that we don't have in reality free will. Our life is determined, and of course, he's a secular person. He say we are just biological machines interacting with the environment. Okay, probably we should reflect about this, and another important point regarding the regarding AI is the ethical concerns. Okay, what are the primary ethical concerns surrounding the using of generative AI in research? I will not launch here the book club, but just I don't know if you can reflect on that. The main concern is the potential of AI to replace human jobs. Ethical issues center around bias and misuse of AI. There are no significant ethical concerns with generative AI. And someone will say, I'm not sure. Well, I think that definitely the answer B, there are some issue regarding misuse of AI. But in this case, the problem is not the AI, but the problem is humans, humans being. And also regarding bias, this is also an interesting discussion. Is AI biased? Yes, of course, it's biased. There is a bias in AI. But again, the problem is not AI. The problem is that the human being is biased. So the AI is trained with information on the web. And on the web, the information is biased. And there are different types of bias that reflect the bias of human beings. So to have an artificial intelligence that is not biased, probably we should remove our biases. First consideration. Second consideration, what does it mean bias? Something that is a bias for us in Western culture cannot be in other culture. Okay, so there are some topics that there's no consensus in the world. We have different, we may have different values in some aspect. So something that is biased for us probably is not biased in your country or in United States or etc. So we have to think about it. However, there are ways to correct biases in artificial intelligence. And this is something that is important. Regarding the replacement of jobs, this is a difficult answer. This is difficult to say. Yeah, I think that the AI will replace jobs. Someone say, yeah, but will create also new ones. The answer, I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen. It's difficult to predict the impact that it may have on the economy. I think that we shouldn't worry about that. Most of you probably are younger than me. We shouldn't worry about that. I think that the solution will be fine. And the most important thing, in my opinion, that we find a purpose and a meaning in our life. Okay, and I think as I told you, I'm optimistic about the future. Another problem is plagiarism. This is more of interesting in university context. Okay, with the capability of generative AI to produce original content, how significant is of plagiarism in academic setting? I don't know in your university, but in our university we have a software to detect plagiarism in works of students. Okay, so there are four possible answer here. Generative AI increases the risk of plagiarism, reduces plagiarism by creating original content, has no impact on plagiarism. My opinion, I can be confident about that, is it depends on how you use it. If you use artificial intelligence well, this may even reduce risk of plagiarism. Okay, because plagiarism is just no copy and paste of information available on the web and on other aspects. Generative AI is very good at reformulate, restructure the information, and to avoid this information to be detected by this software. But the most important thing is that you are critical when you interpret the information, and you also, I will talk about that, you always verify the information, because generative AI can generate false information, no? The so-called hallucinations, okay? Something that I definitely have some concern is AI detectors. So in my university, for example, most of the anti-plagiarism software, I don't know if you use in your university, you have an anti-plagiarism software. Now they introduce AI detectors. So text generated by AI can be detected by some particular software. Well, this software, this AI detector are flawed and also ethically questionable. First of all, they are very easy to avoid through restyling or editing. If you go to the internet, you can find different tools to bypass AI detection. Students that are quite smart can use this, take the information generated by AI, can use this tool to humanize these tools and avoid that. But there is a problem here that these tools do not work well. Even if your own test, if you try to just proofread or check for grammar or rephrase, this test can be detected AI generated, but what's wrong with this? No, we can use AI probably to improve our, especially if we are not native English speaker, for example, we can use to rephrase to correct. Also, people use this tool very lazily. There are false positive, false negative, so they are not that ethical in that sense. We are, as a scholar, even academic articles, they are sometimes scanned for detection. And there are some academic institutions that they have banned these AI detectors. And I have to say that I support this. I think that these AI detectors, they are completely useless. And I think they should be banned. Okay. And finally, going back to research, do you think that generative AI will be able to conduct autonomous research? Well, this is a question that is difficult to answer, but I think that autonomous research may be possible, But the most important is that interdisciplinary collaboration. This will be most likely. And this is something that I think is very positive. We'll be able to collaborate. We are in accounting or in business. We'll be able to collaborate with other discipline and area thanks to this tool. Someone has classified 5 levels of AI in academia. The first level is use of AI as a copy editor. Okay, this means that academic writing offer copy editing tools, and this will democratize access to quality writing. Okay, for those challenged by language barrier or financial constraints. So people that do not master well English, most of the academic publication and the knowledge is in English, may use this tool to improve. The second one is a research assistant. So the AI will be like just a research assistant. They provide suggestions regarding the structure of academic article, dissertation, thesis, etc. But the researcher will still vet the suggestion. And level 3, we are here, co-author. In academic article, master dissertation, the AI will be your co-author. So deal will aid in academic writing by drafting paper, dissertation from data, will generate research questions, synthesize literature, analyze statistics. Okay, can also suggest interpretation of results, visuals. The research is still key, formulating questions and data collection. Okay, the problem is for generative AI that most of the time they AI doesn't have access to data. So we need to provide to collect this data. If you're gonna do some interviews, or if you're gonna use some particular data that are not openly available, so you need to provide this the data. We are here now, but we are entering the level 4, that is independent researcher. Okay, so the AI will have the capability to autonomously generate research question, analyze trend, gap in literature, can gather data from open databases or via web scraping, conduct analysis, submit work for publication. But the human oversight is still essential to guide the process, to grant access to resources, for example, to manage peer review feedback. We are almost here, I would say. I think this will be here probably this year or next year. And after the level 5, that probably is a bit more further, is principal investigator. And in this case, the AI will extend beyond basic tasks to manage and coordinate research projects and teams comprised by both humans and AI. So AI will supervise research teams, will have a central role in academia, promoting a shift where human researchers increasingly take on supervisory or collaborative duty. Why game over? Game over because there will be a significant change in the rule of game. Definitely the AI will be the principal investigator. Probably we will reach this with AGI. I don't know if you have heard about this, artificial general intelligence or super AI. This is the level where the AI surpasses the human intelligence. And someone say that we will reach this in 4 or 5 years. Others say probably in 10 years. We don't know. Probably the most agreed date is 2029. So in 2029, within 2029, we should reach this level of super artificial intelligence or artificial intelligence. However, there are some factors, some psychological factors and biases that explain some resistance to AI in academia. Okay, what are these? Why we have this resistance in people, in scholar, in professor, in students, etc. There are different reasons. I will go through this because one is fear of obsolescence. Academic who are dedicated year to mastering their craft may view this as a threat to their relevance and authority. No, the concept and the self-esteem. No, again, what our purpose, no? If we are surpassed by artificial intelligence. Another problem is identity, a self-efficacy concern. For many researchers, professors, scholars, their work is not a profession, but a core part of their identity. So the introduction of this tool challenges this identity, raising question about the value of human insight and research. There are other problems like trust and reliability concern. Some people, they do not trust AI research findings. Others say resist to change. Human beings usually resist change, especially when it involves complex learning curve. I hope that if you are a student, you are young, you don't have this issue because your purpose should be to learn. Other problems are concerned, ethical implication. They may be concerned about the moral aspect of relying on AI and social influence and group norms. Sometimes academic community, students, etc. It depends on social norms and attitude and peer attitudes. Even research personally open to AI may conform to widespread skepticism or caution. Okay, there are some psychological factors we should reflect about this, just in case we are facing one of these. And finally, I like this when you say we have got Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and godlike technologies. So we have also to reflect about this. Probably we should try to uh, upgrade our control our emotions, reflect, understand at least our emotions. Try to make our institution more uh, modern, no more, and also try to use this technology for for the good, no, not for the bad. But going to practicalities, what are the tools, the main tools that can be used in research, in also for at undergraduate, postgraduate, or PhD level? There is a web page when there are plenty of tools. First of all, there are plenty of tools, but the most important are my preferred tool, of course, ChatGPT. Now the latest version is ChatGPT 4 Pro. eh? Um, and and another one that is this that I personally use is IT AI. Unfortunately, they are both under subscription. Uh, ChatGPT can be used free. The 3.5 version that is good. But of course, ChatGPT 4 offer more and more opportunity. There are other tools. There are tools that in reality they behind the user the GPT algorithm, but they are more tailored for academic research for the academia. For example, one is Elicit. Elicit is very good for literature review. You can try these tools. They are free. They do all. They have a pro version that is paid, but there are also the free version that can be used very well. Okay. Elicit, good for literature review. Consensus, consensus. There's also GPT in ChatGPT that is very good. SciSpace, Jenny.ai. I don't like it very much. And after there is Perplexity. Now, another large language model that has been is Gemini, Google Gemini. At the beginning, it was said that it will outperform the GPT-4, but unfortunately, it's not true. I think that GPT-4 is still superior to Gemini. In April was launched Claude, that is another large language model of Anthropic. This may not be accessible from some countries. For example, in Europe, you cannot access yet. You need the VPN. I don't know if in your country you can try. Another one that's also very, very recent is Meta AI. So Meta launches AI. Again, this Meta AI, what the difference is open source. So Meta AI is open source. It's very powerful, but again, it cannot be accessed in for the moment in other countries. In Spain, where I am, I cannot access Meta AI. I don't know. You can try in your country. And this year will be GPT-5. GPT-5 will be launched probably at some point this year, and this will shock us. Apparently, this will be also another skip, and they will introduce agents that they will be able to, what the difference between GPT-5 and GPT-4. We'll be able to perform more complex tasks. There will be some workflow. It's called agents. So we'll be able to do some tasks that they require more steps and are more complex. And we are getting closer to AGI, artificial general intelligence, and super AI with quantum computer. But this probably we should wait a little bit more, a few years. Now let's going back. In this 1 hour, we don't have time to go too many details. So I will probably you can contact me, or we will after we can organize further discussion. But I will also give you some tips and how you can use generative AI to write your dissertation or an academic paper or etc. What are the possibilities? The first step is the topic identification. Let's assume that you want to write dissertation. In your undergraduate, you may have some dissertation, thesis, or PhD student, postgraduate. You can ask to suggest some topics within your field of interest. Okay, I say ChatGPT, but you can also say Gemini. You can also say Claude and other large language models. You can also ask for clarification, and you can ask for breakdown of different aspects. After, you can discuss the scope of your study. So if you don't have a clear idea, you can ask this. Second part is literature review. So let's assume that you have to do a search for academic papers or literature regarding your topic. You can ask request summary of theories, models, prior research. If you're using the simple version of ChatGPT 3.5, remember to always verify all the references suggested by ChatGPT, because the free version is trained with data up to January 2022. In contrast, the GPT-4, that is the most advanced version, but is a paid version, it is include data until December 2023. However, if you have GPT-4, if you are subscribed to GPT-4, you may have specific GPT that are more reliable and specific for research. Why you have to manually verify? Because some references can be fake. You know, the risk of large language model for the moment is hallucinations. Another way you can use is to generate some keywords to search in other database like Google Scholar, Semantic Scholar. And after, you can discuss the summary to identify gaps in the literature. So this is another way to use. The step 3 is research question and hypothesis. If you are writing a master dissertation on a PhD, you may use this to draft potential question or hypothesis. What are the hypotheses that I would like to test in my study? Okay, so you can also ask to critique this question, hypothesis, and to suggest theoretical frameworks. When you do some study, usually you find a theory that may support your hypothesis or your findings. These large language models they have access to a lot of information. They are very good to identify the best theory for your study. And after, there is the methodological part, the methodological design. You can describe the methodology and ask for feedback, or you can even ask to these tools to suggest what is the best methodology for my study. And also, you can ask what are possible alternative research methods that I can apply. For example, you have to do an interview. You can ask what are the best questions that I can ask regarding this topic. After, we have the step 5, that data collection. Okay, so if you are, for example, using a survey or questionnaire, you can ask this large language model to phrase question or statement in your survey. And also, you can have to evaluate the clarity and relevance of the questionnaire. It's very difficult sometimes to create very good question or very good questionnaire. This tool can help you to structure, to phrase very well the questions. And you also have a data analysis. For qualitative data, can help in ChatGPT or other language model can identify themes or codes. If you are going to do some quantitative analysis, statistical analysis, can also perform statistical analysis. But you need the advanced version of ChatGPT 4. They have code interpreter, where you can upload data set and ask to perform different type of statistical analysis, and also can interpret this analysis. And also can align multimodal. You can also not only upload file, text, but also images or even a video. You can upload an image and ask ChatGPT to suggest an interpretation of that particular image or chart included in the image. And after the drafting of your manuscript, I mean, you cannot, for the moment, you cannot ask ChatGPT, okay, write a dissertation on the paper of this topic. You always, you can use it just to first to ask for a structure, for a scaffold of your master dissertation of your paper. Okay, first of all, you have to ask for a structure. Okay, once you have the structure, you can focus on each section and try to write this section with using different tools. You can also use to refine the language, to adopt the style to be some requirements, for example. Okay, um, uh, translate from one language to another, correct grammar, especially if you're not a native language speaker. So and therefore you can use ChatGPT to write and revise each section of your work, of your dissertation, essay, and etc. Of course, the work should be your own work, and this is just a tool to support you. That you always have to critically analyze the content of your work. And finally, this is a proofreading. Probably this is the most obvious thing that you can ask just to proofread, to revise the grammar, the writing, to improve the sentence structure, the punctuation, to format your citation, etc. And the approach should always be iterative. Okay, try to refine of your question. Okay, to ask it again to improve your results. Once you get the output, you read it, critically analyze, and if and ask this tool to improve, to refine, to focus only on specific aspect that you would like to stress, and etc. It's very good also to combine this with other tools. For example, this can be used with other data analysis tools like R, Python, statistical software. My knowledge of R and Python has exponentially increased over the last year thanks to ChatGPT. Why? Because you can ask ChatGPT to write code in different statistical or programming languages, and also ask to explain step by step. So take it as a way to learn. Don't just copy and paste the information extracted by this tool, but take this as an opportunity. Be curious to improve, to learn, how to do things. Try to understand how to do things. Someone say programmer will disappear, no, over the next few years. I don't know if you have heard about that. That the programmers will disappear. I think that we will use more and more natural language to program. Everybody can be a programmer, I think. We will arrive at this step, but for the moment, I think we have to take the opportunity to improve our knowledge. Okay. However, the ChatGPT, of course, is not easy. Someone think, okay, I don't know. Most of the students that I have in my university, I ask them how they use the ChatGPT, and I was surprised because they are quite superficial. I mean, uh, to have good result, you have to be able also to use it well. And there is a so-called promptology or prompt engineering that is now a science, and how to prepare the best prompt eh, for this language model to get the best results. There are different frameworks regarding prompt engineering, but the one that I prefer the most is the one called proper. What does it mean? The first thing, we have to specify the persona. Which role should it take? Let's assume that you want to write a master dissertation. Of course, you have to specify, first of all, who you are. I'm a student, but what level? Right? You can say, I'm an undergraduate student, I'm a postgraduate student, I'm a PhD student. This is quite important. And also you have to tell the large language model who is he, what's the role of that language model. You say, as an expert scientist in a particular area, tell me this. Right? So you have to assign a role to the large language model, and also you have to present yourself, introduce yourself, who you are. Why this is important? Because the information that you will you need to extract from this large language model should be adapted to your level. If you're an undergraduate student, the level of information will not be the same that if you have a PhD student, for example. Also, it depends on your area of expertise. They say, I'm a student in business, I'm a student in accounting, I'm a student in computer science. This is quite important. Yeah? So you have to specify well the context. Otherwise, ChatGPT cannot guess, basically. But the same as a person. If you ask a question to a person, you have to specify the content, who you are. Now I know that you are a student. Most of you are, if I'm not wrong, you are a student of undergraduate student. So for me it's quite important know to know this. After that, you have to request exactly where to specify well in a clear way what task you would like to perform. Okay, what you want to do. Operation, how, in which way, in which method. Okay, how you want to perform this task and how this should be presented. What is the tone? Should be the style, should be formal, informal, is a letter, is an email to your friend, is an email to your professor, okay? And how you want the output? You want the information in a table? Yes, of course, you can ask ChatGPT or whatever other language to provide information in a table. And you have to specify what are the field of this table. Okay, I use sometimes ChatGPT even to answer emails to my students, for example. Or to my colleagues. Of course, the tone and the style should be different. So I specify that this is an email, this is to my colleague, please use an informal style. Or if you're a student or you're doing a master dissertation, you have to say that you have to use an academic style, a formal style. Okay. I also provide some examples. Do you have an example of the output that you would like to expect? Let's assume that you want to write an introduction of a master dissertation. You can probably take some introduction of other master dissertation and say, oh, look, this is some good examples of introduction. Can you write an introduction similar to this based on this example, following the same structure? And also refinement. I mean, sometimes you may not be satisfied and happy with the first result. So you can also give feedback, iterate, say, ask to improve. Say, okay, yes, sometimes it happened to me, for example, that I asked to write something and it's too long. No? They give you or too short. So I say, please, can you rewrite more concisely this answer, for example? Okay. So try to refine and not get try to be demanding because these tools are I mean you can ask as many questions you want. So this is the benefit of this tool. Okay, that you can refine and improve. Even OpenAI that has published some recommendation regarding the best way to write a prompt. Okay, uh, mm, apart from the one that I already said, one of the most important thing is, for example, you have to sometimes you need to specify the steps. It's called chain of thought prompting. If your task is quite complex, don't expect that with a single prompt you may get the best answer. Sometimes you have to tell ChatGPT each step that he has to follow to get the final result. No, first do this, after do this, after do this. So especially if your task is quite complex, it's like writing a master dissertation. You cannot ask ChatGPT write a master dissertation. No, the first thing to do is please write first a structure of a master dissertation. Write a plan of a master dissertation. Okay, once you get the plan, now usually you start from the literature review. Now I would like to write a literature review. So you ask to help you write a literature review. And you have some example folks you can provide. And another thing quite interesting is the emotional stimuli. Why emotional stimuli? It has been was found that if you give an emotional story to ChatGPT, it will get a better answer. So it's like ChatGPT is sensitive to your emotions. Okay, I'm a different situation. I'm a student. I'm so depressed. I'm so stressed. I have to do this task. I'm scared about this. Give you some time. You may need to give some emotional stimuli to ChatGPT, and it will react better and will be sensitive to your emotion. Another thing is to be kind. Yes, to be kind. Always use please. Always try to be kind to the large language. Why? But it's quite obvious. The information that is used to train ChatGPT is based on the web. And of course, when you are kind, you always get a better answer, right? If I'm a kind to you, I expect you to be also kind to me. So it's quite obvious that kindness uh, rewards. So try to be kind, try to be to express your emotions. Sometimes your concerns, this will help you to probably to get the best answer because ChatGPT will provide an answer that is tailored to your particular emotional situation. Okay. And after, of course, you can this presentation, you refine, iterate, etc. I'm gonna skip this part. In this case, in the prompt, again, in the prompt engineering, the most important part is to break down your queries, your requests. Okay, especially if a particular complex. Sometimes you may need, for example, to input some information in ChatGPT. In this case, you when and give time ChatGPT to think, to read, and you can just write, "Do not generate a response until I tell you." Okay, because sometimes when you push enter, no, ChatGPT will usually answer immediately. But you can say, "Oh, do not generate. Read this document and do not generate any answer until I tell you." Another important thing is that ChatGPT should know you. Eh? I'm gonna open my ChatGPT now. Okay, this is my ChatGPT. I have the 4 version, but I mean you can use the 3.5. Something that I did. If you go to your profile, you go customize ChatGPT. What is customize? I don't know if you have any of you have done it. You have to tell ChatGPT who you are. Okay, because ChatGPT should know you. You say, for example, in my case, I put I'm a research professor at TBS. I use ChatGPT for my research, etc., etc. So, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you, and how would you like ChatGPT to respond? Okay, so you, for example, in my case, I said I prefer long responses with the writing suitable for research and publication, etc., etc. No, you are probably in a different situation. I'm a student undergraduate. I need this kind of responses. Why this is important? This is important because you will need ChatGPT should know the context when answer your question. In this case, you don't have to repeat it, enter it again, over and over again. Once you put this in custom instruction, okay, ChatGPT will know that. Of course, you can override that. You can override. But I recommend that even in the free version, if you use the free version, you can add custom instruction. Another good naive recommendation is sometimes if you want to add more line in the ChatGPT, you have to press Shift Enter. Because be careful, if you press Enter, this ChatGPT will start answering. But if you want to add more line, you can just press Shift Enter. Now, I don't know. Probably I don't know if you know GPT-4. I'm subscribed, so I will take this opportunity probably to show the difference between the GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. And after we will finish this, 10 minutes more. The GPT-4, you should, if you have the free version, you will have only 3.5, right? In GPT-4, you have some additional functionality that are, I have to say, they are very powerful. One is DALI. That is probably not so relevant in the academic world. DALI allows to generate images based on your text. You can just type a text and say, please generate an image of, you can see whatever you want, and this will generate the images. But the most important thing, I think, is the possibility to do analysis. You have here the possibility to upload document. Can you see here? So you can load a document. This document can be whatever document. Okay, it can be, I don't know, a paper. It can be a data set, and you can ask to you can ask to do a summary, for example, to interpret a paper. For example, I can upload here in academic paper, my previous academic paper. I'm gonna do that. That I publish, for example, this one. Okay, upload the PDF, and you can ask, for example, please, well, always try to kind, please provide a summary of the attached academic paper. Okay, so this will allow to read documents. You can do more than one, and this will generate now. This paper is we read and we provide a summary. It can be a paper, can be a textbook, can be whatever you want. Okay, but apart from that, this is quite powerful. Also, you can ask, for example, to perform some statistical analysis. You can import an Excel file, and has to do some table, charts, statistics, etc., etc. I will stop now this. But the most important are the GPTs. What are the GPT? GPTs, I'm gonna click, are specialized GPT. So they are GPT that are customized and specialized to perform specific tasks. For example, for research, as we are the country of research, we have some different GPT. One, the most important is that I think is the one of the most used is consensus. Okay, what is consensus? Consensus is a tool that allows you to do research, to write literature review, to find academic papers, document. For example, I don't know. Let's assume here there are some proposal prompt. Is sauna good for health art? This is a question that is already there, but you can ask your whatever question. I'm gonna ask you. Is sauna good for health art? Now, this tool will search in all the academic literature. We're talking about millions of papers, and it will start answering your question, your research question. And the benefit of this that you don't have any hallucination because they are real academic papers. You can trust this information, and it will also provide the link to the academic papers that you can use. For example, sauna appears to be cardiovascular benefit, etc., etc. So here we start writing, and as you can see, there are the paper. If I click on it, as you can see, I will get the full paper, okay, with all the information, okay, and also you can use here consensus to do further analysis. So I think the use of GPT is, but there are other GPT. There are GPT, for example, to read the YouTube video. You can summarize. You just copy and paste the link of a YouTube video, and you have to summarize the video. You can create images. You can provide summary of web pages, for example. You can provide a link of web page, and this will provide some summary and etc. Okay, there are unfortunately these tools are all included in the paid version. However, as I say, if you want to use consensus, there is also a free version of consensus. Okay, you can go to consensus.app and you can use the free version. It works quite well. There are some limitations, but you can and it works in the same way. You have to ask the question, okay, and use it, okay. Ask a question and whatever question, I don't know. Is smoke dangerous for health? Stupid question. No, we know that smoke is dangerous, but etc. etc. Okay, you can get a summary, exposure to tobacco, lead to etc. etc. and up to you all the academic papers. Okay, so if you don't have the possibility to subscribe to GPT, you can all use the free version. So my question is it worth paying for ChatGPT? For yes, if of course if you can afford it. Okay, if you can afford it, yes, because $20 per month is quite expensive, especially even in particular country where $20 is more than other countries. I mean, but if you cannot subscribe, you can use the free version and other free tools like Consensus, Elicit, etc. That they have the free options, and they are very powerful as well. Okay, I hope that this tool will always be accessible for everybody in the world. This is one of the risks. I don't want that to be a gap. People that do not have access to these tools will be penalized, and I hope this will not happen. And I hope that all these tools will be made available to everybody in the world. Okay. Just to we have probably 5 minutes left. Just to continue, I will do quite quickly. There are other possibility. For example, for idea generation, there are one page. It's called 145 ChatGPT prompt for creating research paper. When you have a list of prompts, I'm going to show you this. I put in this presentation. I don't mind sharing this presentation with you. I after I will send to Cesar, and if you want, I can share the presentation with you. Okay, don't worry. In this page, for example, you have a lot of prompts for thesis writing to achieve success. Okay, just to clarify. Um, Okay, I'm gonna give you a lot of tools to perform research, to write thesis, but bear in mind you always to stick to the rules of your institutions. Okay, unfortunately, the different institutions in the world they have different rules regarding the use of AI for students. Okay, some institutions are more flexible. They are more. There are some other institutions that are more restrictive. You have to use these tools. Always, of course, be critical in a responsible way. Try to always verify the accuracy of the information, verify that be critical, and also you have to meet the rules of your institutions. Okay, for example, in my institutions, we allow students to use a generative AI. However, they have to show that they use it properly. Okay, that they have checked the accuracy of the information. Okay, and also depends sometimes on the professor. Eh? There may be some rules that are general for the institution, but after there may be the institution may give some leeway, some freedom to professor to fix rules. I am one of the most uh, um, permissive person, so I allow 100% the use of AI. Okay, but there are some colleagues that are not so open like me, so it's very important that you always stick to the rules of the institutions and of your teacher, your professor. Okay, my personal, very personal view is that we will end up this will be generally accepted, these tools. This will be part of our existence. Okay, the problem that now as these tools are very new, there's still a mistrust this tool. There are people that do not understand how they work. Okay, AI can understand this. Okay, so even the who created these tools, they don't fully understand how these tools work. They were impressed with this result. I follow different was in different workshop events, and even people expert in computer science that people that were the creators of this tool were surprised with the result of these tools. So they don't really know exactly how these tools work and how come they produce such a incredible result. But a point of reflection is, but do we know how our brain works? I don't think so. We know probably we don't fully understand how our brain works, but we trust our brain. Yeah, we trust more or less our brain, but we don't know how our brain works. Okay, we understand some functionality of our brain. We are starting understanding, but if you ask you what is consciousness, what is intelligence, we don't really know, no, because our brain is very complex. And the same for these tools. They have billions of parameters. They are so complex. They work, but humanity, even the people that are the expert of the sector, they don't fully understand how they are able to produce such incredible good results. Okay, so but that said, this doesn't mean that we don't have to use it. Okay, we have to use it. Humanity takes time to get used to significant changes, and as a student, as a person, we should be responsible. We should, without our context, we should to use as good as we can within the rules that we have. No, we have some constraints. We have the rules of the institution, the rule of the professor, etc., etc. Legal rules as well. There are maybe some legal requirement in your country, and maybe some legal requirement that are different from the country. So we have to survive with this context. Okay. So you can go to these pages, and when there are different prompts, okay, to support paper writing, paper dissertation, master thesis, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay. etc. I will have to finish my presentation. I will share. You can have a look. Here there are some activity that you can do if you want by yourself to try to practice. Okay, but the most important thing is that try to be critical, try to practice because you can only learn by practicing, and also don't be superficial in the use of these tools. Okay, you should be learn how to use well. It's not like Google search. Even in a Google search, you have to write, no, to get the information, you have to be good at writing, the keyword that you need. But in these tools, I mean, you need to learn how to use it well. You need to learn how to prepare the best prompt. Eh? The concept that you have to specify the context. Okay, you have to specify the context of your prompt and exactly specify what you want to get. Okay, and I think I will finish here. Okay, we don't have more time, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Prof. We are coming to the next session, question and answer. For the audiences, if you have any question, you can raise your hand and directly address the question to Prof. Diego.
I don't know if there is
Maybe
in the chat. I'm gonna check the chat.
okay.
Okay,
If you want to
is it
write your
conceivable in the future to run process data with AI, like a function of SPSS? If it's possible, can AI become one of the lecture in the university? Okay, yes. The first part of this question is if it's possible to use AI to perform statistical analysis using software like SPSS, EView. Definitely, yes. Yes, of course it can. The statistical, it can also, this can be done now, but using, of course, the advanced version of GPT-4. Do you have the code interpreter when you can ask to perform all the statistical analysis? ChatGPT-4 use Python behind, okay? And also another concern is this transparent? Yes, it's transparent because when you ask, for example, you upload a data set and you want to run a regression analysis, okay? You can ask or a statistical structural model, structural question modeling, for example. You can do that. You have to specify for all the characteristics, and ChatGPT will give you the code in Python. So after you can reproduce the analysis, you can reproduce, so it's completely transparent. Yes, it can, and it can be particularly useful for people that don't want to spend time learning coding, learning the statistical software. For quality people, for example, quality scholars that apply quality methodology, now they can apply this quantity methodology using these tools. This is the first part. The second part, can AI become one of the lectures in the university? Of course it can. Of course it can. I think that we will end up with AI being one of the lecturer in the university, a support to the professor. For example, just last week, what I did, I uploaded a presentation in PowerPoint in the ChatGPT, and I had to generate a video. Okay. Very soon with Sora. Sora is the new tool of OpenAI that generates video based on text. We will be able to upload our teaching material as a professor, PowerPoint, for example, and ask this tool to generate nice and engaging video. So my question is, as a student, do you prefer a professor that talks with PowerPoint, etc., or you prefer looking at a nice video with a very engaging special effect that explain with a perfect English accent, with etc. I mean, I think that all the students will prefer looking at watching the video, no, with that explain a particular topic. So this will replace as a professor, the professor in different tasks. Of course, the professor will still be there, I hope, and we will change. We should change our role. We'll be like a tutor. We will help you to to solve particular issue, to clarify concern. The human interaction will be important because students, no, probably will not be satisfied with just interacting with the machine, with an algorithm, with AI. No, we will also ask for human interaction, and psychological support. We will also organize activities in the class, but definitely there will be an important tool that will replace the professor in different tasks. What about your opinion about the lecturer disagree to use NAI? Okay, as I said before, there are some lecturer that may decide to disallow the use of AI. In this case, you have to stick to the rule of the professor. So I mean, we are different. We have different opinions. And if there is a lecturer that does not want to use AI, you have to follow the lecturers. Now, if you ask me my opinion, as a professor, as a lecturer, I support the use of AI. I will introduce this here, the AI in my classes, but I always respect people that have a different opinion. And at the end, I think that the reality will win. I mean, the reality will make the final decision. The institution will set the rules, and the professor should adapt to the rules of the institution, to the rule of the market. You know, you said the market is of the student. Because if the students start asking for a use of AI, of course, finally the lecturer should adapt to the request of the students. But we have to respect for the moment, and every lecturer is as a student, you have to stick to the rule of your class. Any other question?
Oh, any other question? If not, maybe I have one question, Prof. I don't know if this may be also important or not, but related to what you said about to be kind when you ask question or make an inquiry. For example, please or could. Is it any differences of the reaction of the EI itself if we ask in the strictly question or in a good manner question? Thank you.
No, I mean, you can always, it's always a question of trying, no? Based on what I've read and what I've learned, is that it's important to be kind. Why? Because kindness always pays off. When you ask a question to a person, to another person, to human being, if you are kind, you will get a better answer, right? Of course, rather than if you are rude. At the end, these models are a mirror of the humanity. They have been trained with the information available on the web. And also on the web, when there is a dialogue between two people and the one is kind, the answer of the other is better than if you are rude. And as this model are trained with information available on the web, I recommend that you are kind. So you say, why should I be kind to a machine? It can be a paradox. You know, you say, I feel that, for example, please use please, for example. Can you please always use please? You may get a better answer.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, is there still any question from the audience? We still have around 10 minutes before we end our session.
Okay. Another question here. AI can make
Yeah.
mistakes, but how can we know if AI makes a mistake? Very good question. Okay. First of all, you have to check and verify the information that you receive from AI. The most, if we are in the context of research, for example, no, in the context of research of the academia, one of the classic examples are references. If you have some references, sometimes you may ask ChatGPT to give you references. This could be a good recommendation. When you ask something, always ask for references, for sources. Okay, let's assume that you are not only in academia, in general. Okay, does smoke harm the health, or is alcohol, I don't know, negative for your health, for example, you can ask whatever question you want. But my recommendation is always ask, please provide some sources, please provide some references, please provide some, okay? So this could be a strategy that you can use. And after, of course, it's quite easy to verify if these referencing sources are they actually exist, okay? But in my opinion, apart from the mistakes, don't consider only AI, generative AI, as a tool to ask for information. It's not only that. As I told you, you can ask information. For example, you can search for information. What's the capital of Italy? What's the capital of Spain? No, of course, this is quite. You can do this even in Google. But the benefit of AI is go beyond this. AI can use, for example, to summarize text. For example, as I show you can upload a document to reformulate some concept, to improve your writing, to interpret some particular results. In this way, of course, you can always critically analyze the output of the AI. So the answer is that you had to adapt some strategy to make sure. But I think that it will become more reliable. Okay. I think that in the near future, AI will become much more reliable than now.
Okay. Is there still any question? I think there is no more question, Prof. We are in the end of our session. Alhamdulillah, today we already have a very comprehensive and insightful explanation about artificial intelligence for research, especially for bachelor degree, as we know that Professor Diego already explained us about what there are many. There are a question, I think.
I think there is a question.
Okay, if you want, you can answer the question, Prof.
Let's see if I can see.
In the chat. I
In the
think
chat.
AI has many advantages, but what disadvantages should user pay attention to when they search for data with AI? Like asking about the disadvantages.
Yeah, the problem, the disadvantage when they search for data with AI is that there are still some risks of hallucination. The problem that sometimes AI cannot say I don't know. Yeah? Sometimes you may ask a question. Sometimes you say I cannot answer. Yeah, because there are some. But sometimes you say that don't say I don't know and give you the most probable likely answer. And sometimes that
Yeah.
answer is not correct. This is a disadvantage that I say, as I told you, I think this will be fixed very soon. But my recommendation is always try to ask for, especially if you are gonna search for information, ask for references. Try to check the accuracy of the information using probably other sources, especially if that information is particularly important and relevant. And again, try to use a critical approach. Okay, so try to double check, ask for references, check, cross check the information with other sources. Okay, especially if the information that you're searching is relevant, is very relevant for you. But again, there are some information that if you ask for a diagnosis, for example, a healthcare diagnosis, they will not give you. They say I cannot answer because probably the programmer say that we have to control, we have to put some control and avoid that people go to ChatGPT to do a personal diagnosis of particular diseases. So this is quite risky, right? But this is happening yet. It's happening in Google. Sometimes we go to Google, say, "Oh, I have a pain in my shoulder," and we search, "What this is?" We are doing that, and we'll do also for ChatGPT. And I think that this information will become reliable very very soon. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. a double correction. It's needed if we, for example, got an answer from the ChatGPT. Sometimes ChatGPT give a illusion. For example, for the reference, we have to recheck and then read again the paper to make sure that whether all the answer for ChatGPT is correct or not, relevant or not, like that. What I experienced actually.
You
Is
can
there
ask
any question?
ChatGPT to say, is your information reliable? You can also ask, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes, oh, yeah, okay, or ask to say, are you sure that this is correct? Okay.
So we have to ask another question to make sure whether they give a correct answer, yeah, Prof. Yeah. Okay. To everyone that hasn't fill out the presency, you can fill out the presency, so your attendance will be recorded by the department, and the certificate will be delivered to you. Okay, is there still any question related to our topic today? We already have many insight and knowledge from Professor Diego about what tool of artificial intelligence, for example, ChatGPT, Meta, etc. But maybe you have to choose which one is reliable, and how ChatGPT help us as academia, starting only for the copy editor, revision, proofread, until the principle of investigator in the five level of AI. And also maybe what else? We also have to be careful with AI detector of maybe it will be considered as not ethical in some institution, but maybe now it will be no issue, but I don't know exactly. I think we already in the end of the session. Prof. Diego, thank you very much. Your transfer knowledge is very valuable for us, especially for our student in the bachelor degree in the writing thesis spaces, maybe, or for us a lecturer, also for maybe other participant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Thank you very much for this invitation.
And hopefully maybe in the next future we have another session, public lecture, conference, or seminar. Maybe you will be invited again in our faculty, maybe in person, Prof, in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you. I would be honored to be there and happy.
Okay, thank you. And I will hand it the time to the Master of Ceremony, Mbak Amalia. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much for Prof. Diego Ravenda and Ms. Cesar for your valuable time to sharing with us. And thank you so much for your attention to the participant. And now we're turning to the last agenda, which is closing. As the Master of Ceremony, I do apologize for any mistakes during this event. Finally, I would like to say thank you. Before leaving this event, we would like to take a picture together. Please open your camera and we will take the picture together. Bisa? Teman-teman mungkin bisa di-on-kan kamera karena kami akan segera foto sesi bersama. We will take the picture in 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once more. Once more. Okay, thank you so much for everyone. Let us close the seminar by reciting Basmalah together. Sorry. Let us close the seminar by reciting Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, thank you for joining this event and see you on the next event.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you. Bye.
Teman-teman, jangan lupa untuk isi presensi.